stories that connect us to ourselves and each other. These stories reveal who we are and show us the many vivid, wild colors of our truth. Welcome to Soul Wanderings, where we raise spiritual awareness and foster connections through these shared stories and personal experiences. And now, exclusively on KGRA Radio, I give you your host for Soul Wanderings Radio. Here's AJ.
Hello. Happy day, friend. It is Soul Wanderings night. Spooky Soul Wanderings night, where we usually are here to hear about all kinds of human experiences. And tonight, yes, there will be some chat about those experiences. However, 'tis the week of Halloween and a glorious full moon. Therefore, we are welcoming to the show a different type of experience. ... I'm just trying to be a little dramatic. I'm AJ Rasmussen, your host. Hi, getting to be here, spending another evening with you guys. This month has been filled with so many fun shows. Shows about demons, shows about ghosts, shows about afterlife. And we couldn't change it up the week of Halloween, no way. So I hope you all are bundled up in your coziest blanket and have your favorite beverage in hand. We're about to hear some real life experiences by those who have danced around in the energies of the afterlife. But before we begin, we have things to share. So don't get too cozy yet. If you want to join us in the chat room, head on over there now. You can do that by going to kgraradio.com. If you have a question for our guests, we have a couple of them, or want to have a conversation with others behind the show, that's the place you'll want to be. So log in over there at kgraradio.com. If you find yourself wanting to ask a question, we request that you type them in all caps so we can see them easily, and myself or my fantastic producers will make sure they get to me quickly, and we will ask them as time allows. So in addition, we have some other things going on before we start. There's giveaways. Apparently, we're having giveaways tonight. The Dark Zone presents the Queen Mary Virtual Haunt and Music Fest. This event will occur on October 29th through November 1st, 2020. The first three callers get tickets to win exclusive free live stream, quote unquote, ticket. You'll get a free live stream ticket. Enjoy 24-hour surveillance, interaction with your favorite paranormal investigators, live music, and Halloween costume contest. This event is brought to you exclusively by the KGRA digital broadcasting station, courtesy of the darkzone.tv. First three callers, you've got to call in at 855-472-5483 and do that now. 855-472-5483. Good luck, you guys. Now, back to spooky. Tonight, we welcome to the show the Western Association for the Science of the Paranormal. From here on out, we'll refer to them as WASP, Paranormal. The three founding members of this paranormal group were going to be with us tonight, but we get two of them. Some of you may already know these fellas because in the last year they have joined the KGRA family and have a show of their own called WASP Paranormal Radio, aired here on Wednesday evenings at 6 p.m. Eastern. And tonight I introduce to you, or possibly reintroduce to you, Chris Hammond, founding organizer, and Justin Vasquez, technical director.
And I have to point out, it's Chris Harmon, not Chris Hammond.
I said Hammond. Okay.
Close enough.
Yeah. There is an R in there.
Yes.
Okay, well, I copied and pasted, so I'm going to have to find out where that came from. So I got the spelling right. Well, welcome, guys.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you very much. We're glad to be here. Sorry, Rick couldn't join us tonight. He is busy with work as always. That's just the nature of his business and how he does things. So,
well, Rick, wherever you are, we hope you're joining us in energy or however that looks like for you. But I'm happy to have you guys here. I've been looking forward to tonight.
I have as well. This is going to be a fun episode. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting some questions.
Oh, yeah.
From our viewers. I'm looking forward to it.
You guys, if you want to do that, remember, go to kgraradio.com, click on the chat room. It'll direct you to the chat room, and then that way you can hang out with us, ask some questions. We like the questions.
Oh, yeah.
They're good.
That's all in our field is questions.
Pretty much.
Right? Lots of questions.
Yep.
Lots of questions. Well, okay. So for those who haven't heard your guys' show yet, WASP Radio, which is exciting. Welcome.
Thank you again.
It's been quite a while since you've been on KGRA, but you guys there just before my show with an hour break in between their show and mine. So make sure you catch them if you haven't heard them already. Who wants to go first? I want to hear about you guys.
I'll tell you what. I'll go first. All
right.
So
Chris Harmon is first.
Yes, Chris Harmon, founding organizer for WASP. I am a family man. I've got 4 wonderful children running from ages 15 to 5. I have been married to my wonderful wife, Jackie, now for 16 and a half years, going on 17 in February. And Justin, who's also here with us, he is my brother-in-law, Jackie's brother. I have been studying the paranormal now since 2009, and I've always been curious about it since 2000 when I was 17 years of age. It's been always been kind of a curiosity to how it works, why it exists, and I always look forward to the new adventures that we have. I also am a delivery driver for Amazon. We deliver in Utah County, and I've been with them for about a year as well, and it's been actually a lot of fun. New experiences, new people to meet, and less people I have to worry about taking care of at a single time because I do have a lot of retail experience and management experience, so it's a different form. But yeah, that's Chris Harmon for you.
What got you so interested in the paranormal?
So, like I mentioned, back in 2000, I was 17 years old. Here in Utah, we have an amusement park known as Lagoon. And I was working there as a games operator back in that summer. And one of the areas that they have is a place called Pioneer Village. It has a lot of the old remnants of Salt Lake City in it because a lot of the old structures were transported to Pioneer Village. And one of the experiences they had was this light gun shooting gallery game where you would just point the gun at the item and it would just go off. It would move on its own, make a noise, whatever it could.
It's pretty much simulating the old gun games that they had back in the day.
That place is freaky.
Mm-hmm.
The energy there is something else. I didn't know they transplanted different buildings and whatnot.
Oh, yes.
I didn't know that. No wonder it gives off that vibe.
It's interesting with Lagoon because there's a lot of legends and rumors from what I've heard in the past. But this night I had the opportunity to work this game for the first and only time. And about 20 minutes before we closed the game for the night, I had an experience that I still to this day, I play it in my head all the time. I'm sitting there getting ready for everything to shut down, waiting to see if any other guests come up to want to play the game. And all of a sudden, everything you shot at, and there was even some items that weren't working at the time, all went off at once.
Oh, wow.
Something I've never experienced before. There are a lot of questions to how that happened. And fear was going through my body in this case because I'm like, that's never happened before. I've never heard that. And then as soon as all of them stopped moving, stopped doing their own little thing, I end up hearing footsteps near this walkway where only employees enter through. So my first thought is, okay, it's one of my employees, one of my fellow coworkers coming to help me shut down the game, a supervisor, somebody. So I start walking up to it, kind of like, haha, very funny, guys. That was a funny joke. As I'm walking through the hallway, no one's in the hallway, but I decide to go check outside just in case someone's trying to play a prank on me. no one was outside the building all around it. No one was there. So I was by myself when all this happened, and my fear went up a little bit. And finally, one of my supervisors came up, and I asked them, I just had something happen to me a second ago where everything just went off at once. He tried to say this is, don't worry about it. It's probably the air compressor system not working or something. He just disregarded it. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, what if there was something there? And that's kind of what piqued my interest, because I started asking questions. Okay, how did this happen? Who did it? Why did it happen? What?
Mm-hmm.
The normal strain of questions you ask.
Right.
Who, what, where, and how, and why. And that's what really got me started into the whole entire thing. Yeah, I just saw that. That was
Did
weird.
that just happen?
That just happened. Holy cow.
Okay.
Did I miss something?
That was something else.
I'm going to let AJ handle that one. That was weird.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so there's some activity. This is not a joke. There's something that just happened. I'm sure it's electrical if we were to debunk it, but that was just when you were talking about it. I don't know about coincidences. I know this studio has had its fair share of activity.
I was going to say, I heard a little bit from Warren about that.
We've experienced quite a bit here in the studio. That light is extremely bright. We have lights on. They're all on. And one just went a completely different shade of white and very, very bright. And it's still on.
Yeah, that was
right at me.
That was very weird. I saw that happen. I'm like, what the heck? It was kind of hard to really focus and concentrate a little bit. I'm like, what the heck just happened?
At least I didn't just see that on my own. Yeah, it's definitely bright. But sorry, go on with your story. That kind of threw us off a little bit.
Yeah, that did. But at that moment, I just started.
How appropriate.
Irony, coincidence. You could do whatever you want to call it. But I'm just like, that was really weird. But anyway, it just really just gave me a lot of questions. I wanted to know more about this. And around that time too, they had the MTV show Fear that was on TV.
Yes, I remember that one.
And I did find it on YouTube recently, some of the episodes. And I think that even piqued my interest more, because the show is called Fear. You're watching these people go into these haunted locations and experience fear. But one of the things that I've learned you don't ever do is you don't do it on your own. You always have somebody with you.
Right.
And during these...
You need a witness.
And during these shows, they would go and do these challenges by themselves. And after doing this for so long, studying the paranormal, you don't do that. Which I heard one of the reasons why they canceled MTV Fear was because a lot of people were getting injured. Safety is always a concern when it comes to the world of the paranormal, because it's not just spiritual or energy safety you have to worry about. It's also physical safety of the areas you're going into. And just that kind of also gave me a lot of questions, So my first thought is I would love to do that show one day. And it really wasn't until 2009 when I actually got to go ahead and go and experience the paranormal for the first time, when one of our researchers and a friend of mine, Luke Dreyer, came with me to Steed's Pond in Clearfield, and we went and explored it for the first time. And I remember just the atmosphere. You could feel a darkness to it, a little heaviness. But the part of it that we wanted to debunk, because there's a folklore around the pond about young men drowning in the pond and passing away. And there was stories about a young boy showing up at the school next door called Holt Elementary. And we decided to walk around, and we took this one picture that we eventually debunked as just being our breath, but it looked like it was a face out of nowhere. It brought a lot of attention to some of our friends that we decided to go back 2 nights later, and it was even darker than the first time we were out there. But that's kind of what got me into the paranormal, was just watching that show, but having my own personal experience. And I think that's what a lot of people that are interested in the paranormal happen to them. they have an experience, and then next thing you know, they start wanting to know more about it.
That is usually the case. Or they're just fascinated with the whole ideology behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's fun. What about you, Justin? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Justin Vasquez, and I lived in Utah for most of my life. Currently, I'm I'm with my wife named Sabrina. We've been dating or been together for about 2 years now. She has 3 kids from previous marriages, but we don't have any kids currently. Been with the Paranormal group since 2009, 2008. Has it been, Chris?
2009.
2009. That's when we got started, and what got me into the paranormal for the first time was while I was living here when I was like 12 or 13 in Ogden, Utah. I got home from work, sitting down playing video games, and all of a sudden I saw this black mass or black cloud go across my bedroom window or bedroom wall. Well, and that was when I first started to realize I have this ability to kind of feel the atmosphere in a room or in an area. Well, the room got not physically darker, but just it felt darker and darker and darker to the point where I couldn't even stay in the room. I set my controller down and I went outside. And that's what kind of got me interested in paranormal and in my own abilities, which are pretty much, like I said, feeling the atmosphere, or the atmosphere will affect me more. And that's pretty much what just got me into it.
Is that something you've always experienced and just became more aware of in that moment?
That was the moment I first was aware of it, and I didn't really think too much of it. But when it seemed to happen more, like certain areas I would be in, it didn't matter if it was at night or during the day, the atmosphere would affect me more than other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would either get like short of breath, or I just had this feeling like I need to get out of here, or just being darker or lighter, just whatever it was, just would affect me more than other people.
Now that you're aware of that ability, have you like researched more so about what that gift is and what it can offer you?
A little bit. I just more or less just go off of how I'm feeling. I don't want, or my own opinions or my own experiences. I
would you consider yourself an empath?
A little bit, but I wouldn't say I'm like psychic or anything like that. It's just more that I would say I'm more empath, because I know other people's feelings, they do affect me more than others.
Mm-hmm.
Like if someone's like really sad or really like, let me use this as an example. Like my wifey, sometimes when she's in a lot of pain or she's in something's wrong or she's in a bad mood, I'll be across town and all of a sudden I'll start getting really upset or really sore. And I call her up and I'm like, am I feeding off of you? Because right now I'm feeling really upset. And stuff like that would happen all the time.
Definitely an empath trait. Definitely. It's neat though, especially where you guys are doing paranormal investigations, to have the ability to feel that type of energy. It's just learning to decipher if it's yours or someone next to you or an actual
and that's a constant
spirit
battle.
Or energy.
That's a constant battle trying to figure out if it's my own or if it's someone else or a spirit or something, because it doesn't present itself right away that it is a spirit or if it's me or someone else. It's just I have to kind of find out on my own.
Yeah. So what was the conversation like? How did you guys decide, hey, we both are into this paranormal stuff, let's do something about it? How was WASP created?
Well, we were a team before we were WASP called 4GH, and that's how Chris kind of got me into it.
Mm-hmm. What happened was, it was our friend Luke, another friend of ours named Chris Black, and then another friend, John Marchetti, that got us all together, that really set this up. And then that's how Rick got involved, even though I've known Rick for over 20 years because we went to high school and everything, and brought in Justin as well because we were all really interested about it. The good thing with Rick, though, the one thing that he brings to it is the skepticism behind the paranormal.
I could see that about him.
Yeah, it's actually a great tool to have, because he'll always look at the other side of it, while everybody else will kind of have that feeling, oh, it's got to be something. He'll be looking at, wait a second.
But sometimes it can be really frustrating, because we will have like, oh, we came across this, or we have this, and he'll be like, oh, no, it could be explained. It's like, just put it away for just 1 second and just believe.
It's the joys of being a skeptic.
Yes.
And that's the one thing that does make it so much better, is to know that even though we may have some evidence, there's a way to find out, oh, it can be this or that.
And that's what we try to do all the time, to explain it away by something scientifically or just environmentally.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, too, the good thing with Rick as well,
he's your debunker.
Yep.
Yes. But most importantly, too, he will also look at it, and if he cannot find a single source to make it debunkable, he'll be like, "No, that's incredible. That's some interesting
So he's
data."
open-minded
Oh,
as
yeah.
well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No question with it.
That's so cool. You guys know I knew Rick before I met you guys.
Yep.
Small world.
Wait, did I met you actually knew Rick before?
Yeah, we worked together quite
Yeah.
a few years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't.
Before I opened Vibes.
I was going to say, yeah, it was some company that you two worked with
Yeah.
each other before, and he was telling me a little bit about that. I'm like, hey, it's a small world after all.
know,
There you go.
crazy.
Connections.
Wow.
Yeah. I know. I was surprised. I'm like, I didn't know you were into this. I knew he was Druid because we had that conversation, which was I'm not Druid, but familiar with the belief system because of what I do. And it was just really neat to have someone in that corporate environment who wasn't all suits and ties. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes, exactly.
So someone I could relate to. It was good. Not that they wore suits and ties there, but it was a bigger corporation. So anyway, moving on. I like having a debunker in the group. Someone like
it helps out.
Warren's like that. Warren Breaker. So when he did paranormal investigating, that's his forte. Like he would want to prove why what happened didn't really happen like we thought it happened.
And the good thing about Warren, too, that I want to point out is he's got questions. He's always going to have questions on everything that happens. And I must say, it's always nice to hear those questions because it really makes you think.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you think you have all the answers, but then there's other questions that pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Warren has those, and it's so nice to have someone with that much experience to be there to help out.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool that you guys can do that. I like having I've joined many paranormal groups and in fact grew up with it because my dad was into this my whole life. We used to he would record EVPs. We would go out to ghost towns in the middle of the West Desert and to mining towns and just really different places that weren't occupied like they are now. And so that's just always been something that I've been fascinated with. I've always been around it. I've always enjoyed it. And so going to these groups, I've always thought it was a lot of fun that they all, like you guys, you all have a position, if you will, and what you do in your group. And it's not just 3 or 4 of you. You actually have a family of people. And so you guys are getting so many different perspectives.
Absolutely.
And that way it's not like I saw that and that's what happened and that's true and he saw it too. So I'm validated. It's actual, everyone's putting in their knowledge and expertise and, research or whatever that looks like. And you guys are all able to do some real investigating.
That's what I love about our team. And I've always mentioned this, that we have a little bit of everything in our team. We have different backgrounds, different beliefs. So we all bring that to the table.
Absolutely. And that's the good thing with us, too, is everybody has a unique skill that helps them make this group so much better. We have a psychic, Stephanie Cohen Black Cohen, I believe is her full name is. She's actually going to be doing a psychic reading here in about an hour or so, or half an hour on Facebook. Yep. We've got Amitaf, who's helping with tech, who is also What's Up Rick's forte is the tech portion of it. And then you've got empaths. We got
Sabrina. She's the Wiccan.
Yes. You've got many different aspects. Andy, who was one of our lead researchers, he's also our historian and does a really good job of looking up the history of the location.
Every group needs a historian.
Oh, yeah.
Without question. You can't go anywhere without having a historian because, granted, it's nice to go into a place blind, but at the same time, you want to know the history.
Oh, we love learning the history. That's the best part of it.
Do you guys learn about the history beforehand? Do you know what you're walking into?
Yep, absolutely. You always want to know what you're walking into beforehand. Like I said, it's nice to walk in blind every once in a while, but there's certain places that have folklores and legends and myths you kind of want to know about. As a matter of fact, one of the things that's kind of helped out our group, there was a urban legend here in Utah that we actually were able to debunk. which was really nice.
Oh, I want to hear about that one after the break.
I think we need to talk about it. And I think you know which one I'm talking about, Justin.
There's been lots of them, so I'm trying to think of which one it is.
I'll let you know while we're on break.
Okay, sounds good.
You'll fill them in with the details beforehand.
Absolutely.
Just like an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to take our first break of the hour, or the whole show, I should say. The whole 2 hours. When we get back, we'll continue to wander with our guest tonight, Wasatch Association for the Science of the Paranormal.
I wish it was Wasatch, but it's Western.
Western. I have Western. I'm awful, you guys. Tonight, I've gotten 2 names wrong.
Hey, nobody's perfect.
Nope.
You're good.
I'm definitely not. And that's the beauty of my show, is we all learn about that. It's good. So the Western Association for the Science of the Paranormal, WASP Paranormal. We'll be right back, you guys. Stay close.
Hi, folks. It's troubling times, and fear is pushing emotions, which in turn pushes health the wrong direction. Do you ever get an ache because life is uneasy? Try Life Change Tea at GetTheTea.com. Life Change Tea works on your digestive tract, helping to move food through quicker and comfortably so your health is spot on. Life Change Tea may not help with world issues, but it will help with your digestive issues. A glass a day helps keep the intruders away. So, change your life today. Log on to GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. If your health game is off, get on by ordering Life Change Tea. GetTheTea.com. And while you're on our site, look around at the great non-GMO organic supplements. And if you're a sales shopper, go to our specials page and see what's for you. I've been drinking the tea for 12 years, and I'm sure glad for its health benefits. Again, that's GetTheTea.com. GetTheTea.com. The tea that makes you go. Please listen. Now is not the time to fear. When your immune system is strong, shields up. You have very little worries. If your immune system is compromised, you're susceptible to all viruses. I say shields up and no fear. Try Heart Love from GetTheTea.com. Heart Love has a special ingredient called allicin. It comes from the healing part of the garlic plant. No garlic breath. No garlic leaking out your pores, just pure immune-building ingredients that gets your shields up. Heart Love is a unique blend of herbs that loves to build you up. Google garlic and know the benefits. 1 Heart Love pill is equal to 20 cloves of garlic. 20 cloves! Shields up. You've heard of our Life Change Cleansing Tea at GetTheTea.com. Now try Heart Love. And by the way, take your blood pressure and watch weekly what happens. So here's how to purchase. Log on to GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com and build your shields. That's GetTheTea.com. Mention Ray in the coupon code and hit apply and receive free shipping.
When you're in the house for longer periods of time, you can see them flying or running across the floor. Ooh, yuck. They're unhealthy, gross, and disgusting. Bugs. I loathe bugs. We keep a clean home, but occasionally bugs show up. Well, I found something that is tougher than bugs. Orange Guard. On contact, it kills hidden bugs, including ants, roaches, and fleas. Plus, Orange Guard is a residual repellent. All of the ingredients of Orange Guard are on the FDA generally recognized as safe list. Orange Guard may be used around food, humans, and pets. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Orange Guard. Available at orangeguard.com, Whole Foods, and Ace Hardware.
Mainstream media's most wanted. KGRAradio.com.
Welcome back to Soul Wanderings here on KGRAradio.com. I am AJ Rasmussen, your host, and tonight we are hanging out with Chris Harmon and Justin Vasquez.
You said it right. Well, there's 2 ways.
You said it different than I said it.
The actual
Vasquez.
Hispanic way of saying it is Vasquez, but I'm used to Vasquez.
Okay.
So
I said it right both times.
Yep.
You
Yes.
did good.
1 out of 3. I did it. That's awesome. Okay, so this is WASP Paranormal, you guys. We're hanging out with them tonight, and they have a show here on KGRA called WASP Paranormal Radio. It's aired on Wednesday evenings at 6 p.m. Eastern. So shortly before mine.
Yep.
We cross each other in the hallway or the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
They leave and I show up.
Yep.
So, paranormal talk. Let's do this. You were talking about, just before we had to go to break, about an urban legend that you guys debunked, that you found out really wasn't a thing.
This was about 2009, 2010 when it happened, when we were our other group at the time. Young, naive gentlemen still learning about the paranormal at that time.
Didn't really have much equipment or anything.
Nope, just a wind-up flashlight.
Never going to let that down.
But
got to start somewhere.
you got to start somewhere, right? At least it's a flashlight. At least it's not the shake weight type, the one that uses the friction to turn on.
That would have sounded worse on the EVPs.
But anyway, there's one particular legend and folklore I'm not sure a lot of people have heard about, but there's a place called Amy's Cage. It is out in West Weber, Utah.
Riverdale.
Right near Riverdale, I think is a better term for it. Thank you, Jeff.
That's more people will be familiar with Riverdale.
Yes. But the story behind this legend was there was a young girl named Amy who was really treated horribly by her family, locked in a cage, was fed that way. She was beaten. She was molested. She ended up dying from her wounds at a young age of 9 or 10 was the story. And a lot of people did not know where the location of this house was. And it was one of those, it's like, okay, let's see what more we can find out about this. So one of us actually did find the location of the place. And when we showed it to our other team members, Luke actually recognized the place as being a family friend that they used to go and plow their driveway. And they never had a daughter named Amy and never had a cage. And they lived at this location practically all their lives. So we were able to debunk it as just being a folklore, just a hoax about the whole entire thing. But the family eventually moved out, and based off of those rumors and hoax, you can see a lot of devil worshiping signs, dead chickens on the floor. The place was very creepy. I think we even caught an EVP where I left my digital recorder in one of the rooms saying, I don't remember what it said because it's been so long since I heard it, but we did capture something. But the place was just tore up because the way it was treated from all the people doing the rituals and the devil worshiping.
But we're not 100% sure if they were actually doing rituals or if they're just kids just messing around.
That too. And that's a very valid point. You can never tell.
Yeah.
And I do remember us taking pictures and seeing stuff pop up, which I think could be matrixing after all these years.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a very interesting place. But to just debunk that whole entire legend and folklore was actually a good feeling to know, hey, we were able to get some information about this place because we knew the history.
Yeah, and other than, like you said, the feeling of it being creepy because it was just kind of a old, just a house that no one was taking care of and it was just kind of worn down and stuff like that. That was the only thing that was given off. Other than that, it was just any other house.
Mm-hmm. So that's kind of that's the folklore we were able to debunk.
That was an easy one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. When you know somebody that knows the area, it is.
It really, I like spooky stories though, like those ones that we talk about like that you really feel are true because everyone's added their own special twist to the story and it gets spookier and spookier. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Unless it gets really corny because sometimes that can happen also and you're like, yeah, that just never happened or whatever.
Oh, I know, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I have a couple of questions in the chat room, and then we'll talk some more about other things. But there is a question. Do you guys have a religious affiliation? And if so, with what religion?
Oh, we had this conversation just the other day on our show.
Yeah, we don't really actually have any type of religious affiliation. We just go with the flow. I know I'm actually technically still part of the LDS Church, although I don't actively do anything with it.
And each person on our team, they have a different religious background that they bring to the team as well. They all have their different belief systems or values, and I welcome every single one of them.
Because each religion has something that you can bring to the table, from what I've learned.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't think there's one particular religion we follow.
So what is your belief then when it comes to hanging out in these places with the lingering energies? Do you believe that there are souls or spirits stuck here, or do you believe in an afterlife or reincarnation or anything like that?
I do believe there is an afterlife. I believe what happens is the energy that you leave behind stays in a particular area that affected you the most, in my opinion. And like the places that we've been to, our biggest one is Antelope Island's Fielding-Gar Ranch. You can tell there is a lot of presence out there, whether it's a young child or older adults, because there's a lot of adults that were there working on the farm portion of it, and their remnants still lie there.
So what's that history, and what energies are you picking up there? Because you've been out there several times.
We've been there for a couple of years.
It changes every time we go out there.
That's the funny part. Yeah, it changes every single time.
So we can't pinpoint what, I mean, like I said, lately it's been getting darker, so we can't really say what.
What we can tell you, though, is it was established by Fielding-Gar back in 1848 when he joined the Mormon pioneers that came out to Utah. And he established the land on Antelope Island right in the middle of the Great Salt Lake, which was a lot more water than what it was now.
Oh, yeah.
But he brought him and 7 of his 8 children, I believe, out there. He was also a widower. His wife passed away out in Nauvoo, Illinois, I believe, before he came out to Utah with Brigham Young and the rest of the Mormon pioneers. And he passed away in 1855. And then between then and 1981, there were like 3 or 4 different families that I know of that were out there. Another one was the Stringham family, which actually was one of Fielding-Gar's daughters, was the 4th wife to Brother Stringham, as far as I know. And then we had a gentleman come out Labor Day weekend, where we were doing an overnight field study out there, and he was mentioning how some of his family actually was a part of that ranch as well. And what happened, he would mention something bad happened with his family out at this location, but he wouldn't go into details. He was saying there was a lot of legal reasons he could not specify, which kind of threw us off a little bit, because it's like, how are we supposed to solve this if you can't give us more information type thing? And he's even talked about however he steps into the ranch house, his hands start to bleed.
Really? Just automatically?
Unfortunately, there's no proof to back it up, so we just take it as just eyewitness accounts, unless there's actual physical evidence.
Pretty much hearsay.
I think that's the better term for it. But that's some of the history right there of Antelope Island. From what we can tell, I think a lot of the remnants of Antelope Island involves around the Stringham family, because I think they spent more time there than Fielding-Gar did, because he was only there for like 7 years. He passed away in 1855. So the other families that were there probably bring in more remnants to what's going on out there. We do know that Fielding-Gar did pass away on the island. Where he's buried is unknown. And that's one of the things we've been trying to find, which we may have a spot, but there's still a lot more research we're putting into this.
And pretty much only if we start digging, we'll actually find out. And we can't dig, so...
But the religious question was a very good question.
Yeah, and to go off of my religious belief is I definitely believe in an afterlife, and I believe that as a spirit, you don't necessarily have to be stuck here to haunt this place. I mean, I'm not sure saying I feel uncomfortable talking about this story, but it's been a long time. I believe you could also go to heaven and come back down here if you want to, because I had a brother when I was 12, 13 years old, die in a car accident. It was me and him that were in a car accident. We got our car rolled 3.5 times in the Ogden Canyon, and he unfortunately didn't make it. Well, about a week or 2 after that, I was in the darkest point of my life, to where I was considering just ending my life, because it was, not only was he my brother, but he was my best friend. And when I almost got to the point of I just couldn't do it anymore, I felt his presence next to me. I felt his hand on my shoulder, and shouldn't say I heard his voice, but I felt his voice in my head saying, it's going to be okay. And since then, I haven't had those thoughts ever again.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
The nature of the show. it happens.
Yep.
But that's the beautiful thing, though, right? Knowing that we aren't alone. Like, no matter where we go.
And our loved ones are not truly gone.
No, it's so neat how you had that experience. Thank you for sharing it.
Oh, you're welcome.
I love knowing that. Like, knowing that to be true. And the type of work you guys are doing and the type of work that I do, it's all the same. But you learn that.
Oh, yeah.
In so many ways. You have so many reminders all of the time in that type of work that you're doing. When you guys go into an investigation, are you doing anything to protect yourselves? Do you guys
all the time?
Do you guys carry like crystals? Do you
my ring right here?
What do you guys
we do all that. My wifey, she does Wiccan stuff. She's actually put in protection, and she pretty much put her love in this ring. I carry around it everywhere I go. It doesn't just protect me on field studies, but it protects me all throughout my life. So we do that. We have crystals.
Yep, and it wasn't until our recent event at Fielding Gar Ranch back in August, it wasn't until then I started protecting myself, because I had an incident that made it to the point I needed to protect myself.
And have almost a exorcism almost.
Yep, and we've talked about this on our show, WASP Radio, before.
Do you want to talk about it here?
I do.
Let's do it.
It's a great experience, and it's also something that there's a reason that you talk about this stuff. But Justin was there, and what happened was it actually ties in with a case we've been working on in Taylorsville.
Yep.
And this case in Taylorsville has had some dark stuff happen, where the second time we went out there to perform a field study, because we did it twice. The first time we did it without the spouse there. The second time we did it with the spouse. We were doing an experiment to see what would happen if one incident he's not there, the second time he is. The second time, we all came back with something.
It affected all of us. We were not the same after.
But it didn't affect me until we hit Antelope Island, August 9th, I believe it was, of 2020. We went out there, set up everything. When we set up a field study, I'm really good about getting the details ready to go, coming up with a game plan, making sure everybody knows what they're doing. This night, completely different. I pretty much was gung-ho, ready to go.
You even snapped at me a few times.
Yeah, we had a little get-together meeting, and he said something. I don't remember what he said.
I can't even remember what I said.
And I snapped at him a couple of times. And this doesn't happen. I don't snap at anybody. Who would you say?
No, you don't.
You seem like a gentle giant, like just a teddy bear.
I'm a pretty nice guy.
I'm not sure if that's what Jackie would say.
I'm not commenting on that. But anyway. But at one point, we had our tech Amitabh, and then shout out to Chris with Life After Life Paranormal. She was there. And then Stephanie, our psychic medium, came into the ranch house with them. We were doing an experiment using what is called an SLS camera. Phenomenal thing. I cannot wait till WASP gets ours official 100%. But the good part is Amitabh has one that's working. We were doing an experiment in there, and I was actually going to try something with music to see how the spirits respond to certain music around their time frame, whether it was LDS or old classical music. 10-15 minutes into that, I ended up having to exit myself out. Something didn't feel right about me. I just didn't feel like myself. Justin, before all that kind of transpired, what were you telling Sabrina, for instance?
Well, yeah, because I was at base camp and I was just watching the cameras, and just the expression on his face was not him. It was not him that was there. And Sabrina was with me when I kind of turned to him. I was like, something's just off about him. He doesn't feel like Chris. We might have to do a cleansing on him or get rid of whatever's attached to him, because that's not Chris.
Yes. And I go and come out of the ranch house. I go and sit down. I look directly at Justin. I'm like, dude, something's not right with me. We need to get me taken care of. It turns out something was attached to me. They took a mel meter to see just around my aura to see where I was at, and it was hitting above 2 milligauss. Anything above 2 milligauss is not good. That's way too much electricity. We can tell something was attached to me that was trying to really take over my body.
It took 3 of our team members to get rid of whatever was attached to him.
Stephanie, Sabrina, and Thomas all get credit for bringing me back to Earth.
I gave them a shout out for that.
And after they took care of that, I just felt so drained. Like a lot of my energy was taken away from me. And it was at that moment I realized, okay, I need to do a better job of protecting myself. So what do? I end up actually going to Vibes and picking up a crystal for around my neck.
Oh, hey.
Picking up a crystal around my neck and picked up a couple of gems to kind of help me ground myself, because when it comes to the paranormal, like I said, it's a safety thing. It's not just a physical safety, but a spiritual energy.
Absolutely.
And if you bring something home, it's going to affect your entire house. Yeah. It's going to affect your family. I'm lucky that didn't happen. It didn't near its head until we got to Antelope Island, which is interesting because after we got myself cleansed, we had a lot of activity.
Yeah, they didn't want us there.
Yeah, because of what came with me.
Because I think we kind of left whatever was attached to you there at Antelope Island.
Mm-hmm. And then something happened to you later that evening.
Oh, how I got vertigo and almost passed out. Yeah.
Just because you were taking down the camera that we had inside of the ranch house, you were taking it down.
But before that, we got those messages on the plasma box saying that they didn't want us in the ranch house. So, like, if pretty much the message was something's going to happen if you go into the ranch house, and I go into the ranch house, and that's what happens to me.
Exactly. You got vertigo.
Yep.
So.
That vertigo. Whew.
Yeah, I went to.
That's an indicator right there.
I went to stick my hands up to grab the camera, and all of a sudden everything started spinning. I got nauseous. I was like, I need to get out of here.
But just so everybody aware, the only reason why I mentioned Vibes is because they did help me out with my situation.
Sure it is, Chris.
Thank you. Thanks for the shout out. That's vibesnow.com. VIBEZNOW.com.
Definitely go through vibes.com, vibesnow.com to get your stuff.
Didn't Rick mention that to you?
Yes.
That's awesome. We're rebuilding the online shopping experience, so it's not awesome right now, but the website is awesome. The shopping experience will be awesome.
I'd rather
in
shop
the near future.
I'd rather go in person and shop. I don't care what COVID or what. I still prefer.
But a lot of our listeners aren't here locally, so.
Which is true.
Yep.
So.
But you can always call, and I will do virtual shopping with you any day.
There you go.
But thanks for the shout out. I think a lot of people don't realize the power of crystals, but yet when you're working with demonic energies and heavier energies, crystals and sage and those types of tools,
we use all of those.
They're only going to piss them off more, though.
Mm-hmm. I know what's going on in Taylor's.
Yeah, it just really upsets them even more that there are other ways to go about it, in my belief. But they do open up different levels, different portals, different channels, different places when you bring in that type of energy, like the music.
Mm-hmm.
When you're bringing in parts of what they're familiar with, you're definitely tapping into something there. What made you want to do that?
To do the music part of it?
Yeah, that's kind of like poking the bear a little bit.
Because as us being researchers, it's always about experiments. You want to see what will help get more answers into the world of the paranormal.
Yep.
And I wasn't choosing something like classic 80s rock from Def Leppard or 70s from Led Zeppelin. I was actually using LDS hymns.
Yeah.
Because
that was what it was.
Yeah. A lot of the LDS church was there. Heck, Brigham Young, one of the prophets, was actually on Antelope Island's Fildingar Ranch. He went to check out the place. And it's one of those things where if we bring something that they're familiar with, will it help us get more information about them?
Or contact them better, or speak with them better.
Sometimes you kind of step a bounds that you want to make sure you're protected 100%. Because if you don't, it's going to hit you pretty hard. I know Justin had experience because he opened his mouth.
Oh yeah.
As simple as that?
Oh,
or
yeah.
did you say something with that mouth?
This is the story, because we were was it the show that following show or that day or something, or was it the day before?
So it was the day before.
Yeah, we were having a discussion about attacks and possessions and stuff like that, and I made the comment on the show that, I've never had an attack. I might want to know how that felt. That's all it took.
Why did you do that?
Insert foot.
That's
into mouth.
exactly what it was. Insert foot.
Manifestation is strong with you.
The next day, we were working, and I had heat exhaustion, and from doing deliveries with Amazon, I got home, and I was just so exhausted, so sore. Which pretty much leaves all your shields, protections, or whatever down. Well, Sabrina was helping me get my shirt off so I could get to bed. She took my shirt off, and she's like, "You got a scratch on your back." I'm like, "Excuse me, what? How'd you get the scratch?" And all of a sudden, she stops in the middle, and she's like, "It's growing, and there's more of them." I was like, "Now what?" And she's like, and she touched them, and it was just a shock all throughout my body. I was calling Chris while she was taking pictures and telling them I'm getting attacked as we speak. So yeah, the next day, me opening up my mouth, I get attacked at my house.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an invitation you want to.
Well, what it was is
extend.
That house that I'm living in currently, Sabrina's mother passed away, and a couple of years ago, she actually fell down the stairs and actually died from that. And she's never been a real big fan of me, which is really stepmother is never going to be a big fan of them. But we all have a feeling that it was her because she was like, "Oh, you want to be attacked? And right now all your shields are down. Well, I'm going to give you what you wanted." That's pretty much what it was.
Wow. And what was the experience after that? Like, did you just, whoa, I'm seeing some pictures right now.
Yeah, this is one of those pictures.
Incredible. Are you serious?
Yeah. And she said, yeah, they were growing, and yeah, they're getting deeper, and yeah. But the next day they were gone.
I was just going to say, so how did you get rid of that energy, or how did it go away? Like, what happened?
Well, after that day, pretty much Sabrina did a cleanse, and she used not only sage, but she used sandalwood, which is kind of a little bit stronger than sage. She cleansed the whole house, cleansed me, her, and her son Casey. And after, I just felt drained, and the scratches were gone.
Any type of attachment is going to drain you of all your energy.
But yeah, that's the one time that, you never open your mouth when it comes to paranormal and ask for something.
Be careful what you ask for.
Yep, ask and you shall receive. Exactly.
That is kind of freaky.
Hey, it's about ghosts, right?
It is. It is.
I don't regret experiencing that, but at the same time, I won't ask for it again.
Good. You learned your lesson.
Yep.
Yay. Thank you for that. Okay, so we have another question from the chat room. What are your guys's, or they're asking all of us, but I'll have you guys answer, your favorite paranormal related movie that you would suggest for Halloween?
The Conjuring.
Oh, yeah. No, that one by far is freaky.
That's what I say, The Conjuring. That was awesome.
And see, when it comes to paranormal movies like that, I'm not a big fan of them because I think they're realistic sometimes with what they do.
Well, it's good to step away from the real and just kind of have fun with the make-believe.
Yeah, I don't watch them.
I love them.
See, with me, I'm more of a retro guy. I love like classic rock and roll, retro video games. When it comes to like monster movies,
you do Godzilla.
I like Godzilla, but I'm referring to like the original Dracula, Creature from the Black
Frankenstein.
What about like, you want to talk about classics? What about The Exorcist?
There you go.
There's an example.
Or The Shining.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The Shining's a good one. I would highly recommend The Shining.
Psycho.
Psycho's a classic. That one, I even remember doing when I was in video production in high school. We actually dissect that movie. I don't remember a lot of what we dissect, but just after talking about it and how they did the scenes, it's an incredible movie.
I'm a fan of Alfred Hitchcock.
Just the fact that in that movie, in Psycho, they don't show the murder in detail. They don't actually show the girl in the shower getting stabbed. Just the whole shadow, the expression on her face, and the music caused so much fear in people that watched it.
The music.
Yep.
Yes.
And speaking of
that music.
And if we're going to go along those lines, let's talk about Nosferatu, a silent film.
Oh, yeah. That's a classic.
Mm-hmm. I watched that a few years ago, and I actually really enjoyed it without having the words. Sometimes You don't need to speak to make it great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to answer the question for myself, I'm not a big scary movie fan. I like the older ones for sure, but the newer ones just seem really dark and demonic to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you get into like The Ring and what was it, 13 Ghosts, that stuff like that. That's just the wrong energy for me.
But the thing I like about The Conjuring, it's based off true events.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. Freaky.
Yep.
Or Reeky. In fact, I had to stop it quite a few times and watch it on different days, different times of the day, because it was a little much. I didn't used to be that sensitive, but when you start feeling things and seeing things for yourself, you just don't want to invite it. You just don't want to bring it in. But the paranormal, he's asking about the question for paranormal related. There are some newer series on Netflix that I find so beautifully written and in regards to the paranormal, like The Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, yes.
The Haunting on
I've
Hill
watched
House,
those, yes.
Or The Bly Manor, The Haunting of Bly Manor. Those type of movies I really like. Those paranormal scary movies, they're just really good.
I agree. Those are really good ones to go with. So
hopefully we answered your question, guys. That was a good one.
That was a good one. I've never been asked that.
Yeah, good one.
But nothing beats watching a scary movie with someone you love.
Yeah, I mean, you got to hold on to something.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. I'll watch one if I've got someone to snuggle up to. All right, guys, we're going to take another break. We'll be back here in just a few moments. Stay close.
Please listen. Now is not the time to fear. When your immune system is strong, shields up. You have very little worries. If your immune system is compromised, you're susceptible to all viruses. I say shields up and no fear. Try Heart Love from GetTheTea.com. Heart Love has a special ingredient called allicin. It comes from the healing part of the garlic plant. No garlic breath. No garlic leaking out your pores, just pure immune-building ingredients that gets your shields up. Heart Love is a unique blend of herbs that loves to build you up. Google garlic and know the benefits. One Heart Love pill is equal to 20 cloves of garlic. 20 cloves! Shields up. You've heard of our Life Change Cleansing Tea at GetTheTea.com. Now try Heart Love. And by the way, take your blood pressure and watch weekly what happens. So here's how to purchase. Log on to GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com and build your shields. That's GetTheTea.com. Mention Ray in the coupon code and hit apply and receive free shipping.
When you're in the house for longer periods of time, you can see them flying or running across the floor. Ooh, yuck. They're unhealthy, gross, and disgusting. Bugs. I loathe bugs. We keep a clean home, but occasionally bugs show up. Well, I found something that is tougher than bugs. Orange Guard. On contact, it kills hidden bugs, including ants, roaches, and fleas. Plus, Orange Guard is a residual repellent. All of the ingredients of Orange Guard are on the FDA generally recognized as safe list. Orange Guard may be used around food, humans, and pets. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Orange Guard. Available at orangeguard.com, Whole Foods, and Ace Hardware.
The Liberator Rocket Heater will heat your home for free. The highly efficient Liberator Rocket Heater has no moving parts. It's safe and strong, constructed of quarter-inch steel. So like all things made in the USA, it's built to last. Uses any kind of wood, sticks, even scrap in its gravity-fed firebox. And it heats workshops, homes, garages, outbuildings, industrial areas, and barns. Watch the video of this blast furnace stove in action. Visit RocketHeater.com. That's RocketHeater.com.
Halloween is not canceled. The Dark Zone Network brings you an epic live stream from the world's most haunted ship, the Queen Mary. Get tickets now at thedarkzone.tv. Become a remote ghost hunter and interact with your favorite paranormal experts as we explore the ship's most haunted rooms. Join us as we throw the world's biggest virtual Halloween party with celeb guests and killer music by Silver Sun Pickups, Filter, Bisto Blanco, and more. Plus our viewer costume contest. This 4-day stream is October 29th through November 1st. Grab tickets at thedarkzone.tv. Halloween's on at the Dark Zone.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRAradio.com.
Hello, welcome back, Wanderers. You are listening to Soul Wanderings here on KGRA Digital Broadcasting, Salt Lake City, Utah, Hudson Valley, New York. And you can find Soul Wanderings on all of your favorite listening platforms. Do you like that? All of them.
That sounded awesome.
Yeah, it did.
That was a total mistake, but it worked. So go to Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio, TalkStream Live. Just go to your favorite one. You'll find us. You can go directly to soulwanderings.com as well. If you guys are enjoying the show, all of my social media links are there. Click on them and go and like my pages. And then you'll be in the know when I announce new guests every week. We are in our second hour of the show. And guess what, you guys? We have more tickets to give away. Why am I singing? That was a thing before the show, and it's a thing during the show.
It's been going on the last few hours. We've just been singing a lot.
It's the energy in this room and the lights. It's the spotlight that is in my face. The Dark Zone presents the Queen Mary Virtual Haunt and Music Fest. This event will occur on October 29th through November 1st, 2020. The first 3 callers get the last 3 tickets. To win an exclusive free live stream ticket, you need to call in. You can do that now. The next 3 callers need to call us in order to get the tickets. Enjoy 24-hour surveillance, interaction with your favorite paranormal investigators, live music, and a Halloween costume contest. This event is brought to you exclusively by the KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, courtesy of the darkzone.TV. And the number you're going to want to call is 85 KGRA Live, which is 855-472-5483. Did you get that? Call us.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck.
Yes, good luck.
All right, guys, welcome back.
Thank you again for having us.
We have Chris and Justin from WASP Radio and WASP Paranormal. WASP Radio here on KGRA.
Glad to be here. It's been a fun one so far.
Oh, yeah. I've been enjoying myself. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking spooky stories.
Yes, we are.
I will say it feels a lot different instead of being the host, being a guest. I'll say that much.
You know, I much prefer being the host. I am really horrible at being the guest.
Well,
I've been a guest several times, and I'm not that good.
Well, we're going to have to bring her on. It sounds like she may have some stories that she might want to talk on
definitely.
WASP Radio.
I'm not a storyteller, but I'll join you guys anytime.
That sounds like a plan to me.
I'm just extra animated tonight. Usually we're talking about much more calm and relaxing and, meditative things. But this month of October has been one of my favorites because I love talking about all this kinds of stuff.
It's the veil. It's thinning.
It is.
We're getting some really weird spirits that are coming into this world. I'm not surprised.
And this Halloween, it's going to be a full blue moon.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all excited for that. But that's my witchy vibes coming out. I love the full moon. It's good stuff.
So does Sabrina. She's a moon baby.
And I just love looking at it, especially if I had a telescope. I can look at it closely and look at the size of it. The full moon's fascinating. It's one of the coolest things in the world.
That's on my wish list for Christmas this year. Is a telescope.
Okay, if you guys are listening, make sure she gets that. I promise it's really good. It's worth it.
They're not that expensive.
No, they're not.
Mm-mm.
You can find them on Amazon.
Okay. Let's not plug Amazon more than we already have.
Yeah.
Remember,
Thankful you guys have your jobs, but Amazon is doing fine and dandy.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos is not paying us to say that, so.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I was just reading something in the chat. We have some funny things being said in there. You guys, if you aren't in the chat room, head over there, kgraradio.com. Click on the chat room. There's conversation that goes on behind the scenes, and you can ask questions too. So if you have a question for Chris or Justin, go over there. Go hang out there. I'm pointing to my computer screen like they can see me. Go in this room. More spooky stories. Who has one?
I'm trying to think of a good one. I mean, we just talked about what happened earlier this year at Fielding-Gar Ranch with me.
I could tell the story about the first time we went to Antelope Island.
Yeah, actually, I think that would be a good one to talk about our first experience.
Yep.
Ooh, let's do it.
Well, the hot spot at Antelope Island back in the day was the ranch house. It still is, but it's kind of moved to the forest area.
Mm-hmm.
But at this time, it was me and Chris that goes into the ranch house to perform our studies. And we turned off all the lights. We started asking questions. And I was feeling normal, feeling fine until we went in there. And all of a sudden, I felt sick, nauseous. I felt my energy being drained. I felt dizzy. I could not be in that room much longer or I was going to pass out. So I kind of turned to Chris. I was like, I got to get out of here. And I left the room.
Yeah, kind of how the scene for you. So like he says, we're in the room. And how it's set up is I am on the west side of the room. He's down on the southeast side of it. And we set some of our equipment on the kitchen tablets in the next room. And one of the things I remember first and foremost is our walkie started going off. Like someone pressed a button to make a signal and everything. I go up to the walkie, ask if other team members were there. Rick was one of them that was with us that night. And I asked him, hey, did anybody walkie us? They're like, nope. Both groups said nope. So we continued on. I remember how hot and humid it was.
It was really hot.
Oh, man, it was driving me nuts. And I just remember saying to the spirits, hey, if you could cool this place down, it would be fantastic. So remember that part. I'm going to come up to it in just a second. And at that moment, that's when Justin starts mentioning, hey, he's not feeling good. At one moment, in my peripheral vision, I remember seeing something white pass in between us. And it was at that moment he ended up leaving the room. Not feeling well and everything. So he walked through the dining room into the kitchen and out the door. And I'm standing there by myself. And again, I mentioned how I wanted them to cool it down. All of a sudden, I started feeling it chills on my body. It's just like all of a sudden the spirits came up and started making their presence known by doing that. And I even thanked them. Yeah, thank you for cooling it down. It feels a lot better. And I remember the last thing I asked them, if you want us to leave, make your presence known. 30 to 45 seconds after I said that, you can hear in the kitchen footsteps. And to me, that's the sign. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate you giving your presence. And I also remembered Justin's outside. So I'm like, I'm wondering if that was Justin. I'm going to ask him. So I walk out of the kitchen and I go up to him. Hey, dude, did you just walk into the kitchen? He's like, no, I've been out here the entire time. And
you weren't alone.
No, that place is got some creepy stuff in that area. And, you know, it brings into another story that happened there. And this is probably one of my favorite ones I like to talk about.
Is the fire?
No, not the fire that just happened a month ago. I'm actually talking about the chuckle.
Yeah, I was in that room. I think, was I there?
No, you were with another team. It was me and Sabrina inside of there, and then we eventually brought in Casey, but we decided to have Sabrina do a tarot reading inside the family room of the ranch house. First time we ever decided to explore this option. So she goes ahead, does the tarot reading. Casey joins us, and what I can remember most about her tarot reading was she was mentioning about Mrs. Gar, which would be Fielding-Gar's daughter, and her husband, Brother Stringham. I don't even remember his first name. But something happened with one of the children and one of the ranch hands. And Brother Stringham confronted him, and something bad happened. It was at that moment, all of a sudden we start hearing stuff moving around in the bedroom that's in the far north or southwest corner. And it comes out over by this, I think it was a sewing machine that wasn't there originally. And then next thing you know, you hear a faint chuckle out loud, something I've never heard before. And all three of us heard it. And I think it freaked me out the most because I was really loud about it. I'm like, I just heard that. I could feel the hair on my arms going up. I was incredibly surprised and shocked. First time since we started going out there, that's actually happened. Very crazy.
That gives me the goosebumps.
Mm-hmm. No question.
Yeah, we've had some of our best evidence on Antelope Island.
Mm-hmm. But another ghost story that comes up to mind, is we're going to take a trip back to 2009. I think we're going to talk
back to the beginning.
Mm-hmm. This one we don't talk about much because I'm going to give everybody a tip who's listening. One of the things about being a paranormal investigator,
okay. I know which one you're talking about.
Is you don't trespass. Safety again, because if you trespass and you're by yourself and you get hurt, you're pretty much putting yourself in a really bad spot. When police come and get you, you're hurt, you end up going to the hospital, and then you end up going to jail for trespassing or get fined.
One reason, yes.
And not only that, but you can't present any of the evidence.
Yes, which brings us to this story. So one place that we did investigate back in the day was the old Bushnell Hospital, Brigham City Indian School. We went out there November 29th, 2009, in fact. And I think you weren't part of this one, but we unfortunately did go back, but you weren't part of that one.
No, not that one. The one that you got the best video ever.
Yes, we actually have a piece of evidence that is cream of resistance. I mean, holy grail.
Say that one more time. No, please say it again.
Cream of resistance.
I love it.
I'm going to regret that. But,
yes, you are.
What I meant to say was the holy grail. I call this the holy grail of paranormal
I think I know
research.
what you're trying to say at first, but I'm not going to try to say it because I know I'll mess up on it, but go ahead.
But to kind of describe the building we were in, this was on the west side of where Bushnell Hospital, the Indian School, was at. The farthest west building that you can get to.
But if you want to think about like the most haunted, creepiest place you could think of, this is what this place is.
Oh, yes. And I remember walking into these buildings, and let me say that we were talking about kids messing around, doing witchcraft, seance, devil worship.
Pentagrams, yeah.
Oh, there was a lot of this in this building. And we went into the farthest north of the building that we can go, and it's 2 levels, and we were on the bottom floor when this happened. And I remember Chris, one of our friends, was taking the camera and panning it by this door frame. When we were there, we didn't notice this. It's when we reviewed the evidence and caught a full-body apparition of a World War II soldier.
No way.
Yes. It's a great video for an example of why you don't trespass, because it's great evidence, but you can't use it. You can't use it, and that's the key term.
Yeah, we can't present it to anybody. We can't show anybody because we were trespassing.
And that's why you don't ever trespass. And I'll never forgive ourselves for doing that. Although I was trying my hardest with the city.
Oh, yeah, I know you were.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that one of the other times we went there, the first time I ever went there, I took one step in there, and I had to actually take a little break because it took the wind right out of me. The atmosphere in this place is so strong, I couldn't breathe for the first few minutes I stepped foot in there.
Oh, man. And that next time we went out there was a scary incident that happened with one of our friends. So they went into this part of the building, and they entered this one room, and on the floor was a pentagram with a dead cat in the middle of it.
So someone had beat you there.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how long the cat was there.
We don't know how legit the scene is. We don't know if some kids were just, because we don't want to say everything is devil. Let me repeat that: devil worshiping or what? But it looked like it.
It was.
That seems to happen a lot in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
In fact, there was actually a story I found that Brigham City was actually the second highest when it comes to devil worshiping, which kind of freaked me out a little bit. I'm like, not surprised at the same time though, because Brigham City is a pretty heavy
religious spot.
Exactly. That's where I was going with. But back to this story, what I remember from him telling us is something attached to him and started whispering in his ear, kill them, kill them, kill them.
No.
He's one of our other, which we call a sensei, like the type of person I am, like how I'm really, can feel a lot of stuff. We call him senseis, and he was one of our other ones.
Mm-hmm. And it got so bad, he ended up getting sick and, regurgitated. I'll just use that term because I don't know how many.
Wasn't it black?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he regurgitated right there on the property, and we're like, okay, that's a good sign for us to go.
Oh, yes, here's your sign.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of those things. I'll never forget those times there at this location, because it had a dark energy to it.
Mm-hmm.
It will stick in my head for as long as I can remember.
Oh, yeah.
There are those experiences that will never leave you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's so many of them when you do that kind of work.
Oh, yes. And although I regret us doing that, it was a great lesson learned.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, even though you can't use the research to share or whatnot, what did you learn from it?
One, you don't trespass.
Exactly.
You always get permission because it's professional. You want to be professional as much as possible when you're doing this. But more importantly, it also really taught us to protect ourselves more, even though it took me forever to figure that out. Honestly, when it comes to the male brain, it does take us forever to figure things out.
I know this. I've learned.
Not to offend anybody, but that's one thing I've learned is sometimes it takes me a little while before I realize, okay, that's bad. Don't ever do that
and
again.
I'm a little different. Like, it only takes a little bit of something to poke at me, being like, okay, I'm not going to do that again.
Mm-hmm. But it's one of those things where...
It's just people in general, I think.
I agree. Those are a couple of things that I took out of it, and I've learned from this moment forward, okay, we're not doing that. Because there was an EVP question I asked as well that first time we went out there, because we were doing an EVP session in one of the rooms, and I actually asked the question, do you want us dead? Okay, now granted, I was young, naive, still learning.
Mm-hmm.
You don't ever ask that question. But what ended up happening is I still have the EVP to this day, and I want to re-listen to it. But we may have captured some residual energy from when it was the hospital of hearing screaming, help me, someone help me, please. And it trailed for a while. It was something that I think we were picking up quite a bit in there because it was the hospital end of it that we were picking up, not the Native American school.
But the hospital side was one of the top hospitals in, was it World War II, that it came to, like, people getting, like, their arms.
Amputees.
Yep, thank you.
There is something about hospitals. Yep. I live right next door to a hospital, McCady.
Mm-hmm.
And there is woods, like a woody area in my backyard that surrounds a pond.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm in my backyard at night, or even I walk the trail to the pond, you are definitely not alone.
I don't know if I want to mention this, but you know why they they tore down the old hospital and built the new one?
Why is that?
Well, they claimed it was because of the old hospital was an earthquake proof, but I actually worked there at that time. I'm actually a certified chef, so I did cook back in the day. Well, the reason why they tore it down so quickly and seemed like they wanted to keep it on the down low is because there was a big outbreak of hepatitis C in the main hospital. They could not get under control, so that's why they tore it down and just built a new one in a different location.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on there. In fact, I've asked Warren, you need to come investigate my backyard. I even have activity in my home. I could tell you a story that there's no way else to. It was only my son and I that witnessed it, and he's not here. So for me to tell you the story, I have to tell you it sometime. But it was so major that I was like, okay, I'm listening because I can see and feel, and I know they're in my home, but they don't bother me and they aren't doing any harm. And I don't believe in, quote unquote, sending spirits to the light. I don't. That's not my place. I
it's
feel
all
like
up to
they
them.
have their they have their experience. They go when they go. But there is something to be said about hospital grounds. I mean, obviously people are sick and they're dying there. There's going to be residual energy and spirit there, no matter what.
Well, in the square footage, that's the place that has the most deaths at.
Right. And burial grounds, things like that. We have some more questions in the chat room. If someone is considering buying a house and there is an old family cemetery on the property, should one worry about spirit?
Yes.
I would say absolutely. I would get it checked out before you even move in.
Look at the history of the house or the history of the lot that's there, because it can be an issue.
In fact, up in Milo, Idaho, the Harmon family cemetery is up there. A lot of our Harmons are buried in that area, and that's where the Harmon Ranch used to be at. And you can definitely feel a vibe up there. I know that's one place we have to check out in the future. But yes, Without question. That is a great question. I've never heard that question before.
That is a good question. You're right. It's from a really good listener. Thank you, listener.
Good job.
Another question. The sickness that you guys were talking about, is the sickness and physical attacks normal? Is that something you guys, how he was throwing up black, or you're getting it physically attacked with the scrapes? Is that something that's normal in your guys' line of work?
It is. It's very common.
Mm-hmm. If you're not protecting yourself correctly, yes, it is very common. Like the whole entire incident with our friend Chris Black, that incident, it didn't happen again, but it can happen if you open yourself up way too much.
And that's just the term sickness. When we feel drained or whatever, that's just pretty much them using our energy to do whatever they're trying to do. And that's why we feel, exhausted or not, sick or whatever. It's just pretty much our essence being drained.
Mm-hmm. And a point on that, I'll give a great example. And this actually involves my youngest, Daisy. This happened at Field and Gar Ranch during the day.
So you take your kids on investigations?
No, I'm pretty smart to know.
We don't take any.
So
minor,
just a visit.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was actually during the day we went out to Field and Gar Ranch. In fact, how I found out about it was with my older daughter, Sienna, because there was this activity they like. Because my kids were a part of Head Start. My youngest is a part of Head Start, and they have these fish activities where the dad interacts with the child.
Wasn't this like the dining or dinner with the buffaloes?
It was breakfast with the buffaloes.
That's what it was.
And it was back in 2017 when we went there. It was really cold, really rainy, but we walked around the ranch house, the museum, the bunkhouse, checked out, I think, the spring house. We got to the point we ended up leaving because we were so cold and so wet. But a few years later, I decided to take my family back out there. During the time where COVID-19 really struck and the kids were out of school, we took a field trip out there because Davis County residents at the time could go on to Field and Gar Ranch and Antelope Island because of that. So we took them over there, just had lunch. My daughter had chicken nuggets. We were in a little picnic area over by the ranch. And we go into the bunkhouse. She went in there, and as she come out, she started saying her tummy hurt. And my first thought is, as being
the chicken nuggets.
The chicken nuggets. So we start leaving, and once we're like a mile or two away, she starts saying, now, my tummy doesn't hurt anymore. So it makes me kind of wonder if something was trying to make its presence known with my little girl, because it is known that children can see spirits more than
all kids are. I think are more attuned to all that. It's just growing up, we are taught not to be attuned to that.
Yes.
We get conditioned out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
But yeah, it was one of those things I did take serious as being a paranormal researcher. Because,
and as a parent?
As a parent especially. It goes hand in hand.
Exactly.
So when it happened, though, of course, the questions came up. Okay, could it have been her lunch? Maybe it just didn't settle right. But there are children spirits out there on Field and Gar Ranch that like to play with the kids. And yeah, like we said,
that is something that's known.
Mm-hmm, it is well known. It even affects people that are really soft-hearted that we've learned from our ghost tours. So, but yes, the answer to the question is common if you're not protecting yourself correctly.
But even as much protection as we tried to have, it's still possible it could happen.
Mm-hmm. True.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how well you could protect yourself if an energy wants to do something bad enough and they're capable of doing it, they're going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you're provoking. Don't do.
We don't provoke. We do not provoke.
You're not like the
Zach
Ghost
Bagans,
Adventures guys.
Nope, we do not.
Good, because I find that very disrespectful.
It is, and not only that, but it stirs up more than what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And I get it that they're trying to get stuff happening because it's a TV show.
And ratings, yes.
Ratings are always going to be the thing. Because
but in normal investigation, stuff isn't always happening.
Exactly. The paranormal works on its own time. It never works when you want it to.
And most of the time, and I know probably your viewers haven't heard this, but for most of the time, you're just sitting around in a dark room for an hour and nothing happens. That's
or
the norm.
a whole night and nothing happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's what we sign up for, and you got to be respectful to those to those spirits, because if you are respectful, they will do more for you as long as you're showing sign of respect. Always say please. Always say thank you. They really respect that.
Yep.
If you go in there trying to push their buttons, there is a good chance they're going to do something to you, but you're not going to like it. And a great example I'm going to point out too, Zach Bagans through the year has suffered so much.
Oh, a lot of health issues.
His eyesight's bad now because of what's happened to him, and he's got bad asthma.
Yep.
He, unfortunately, I hate to say this, he brought it upon himself.
But again, with all the protection and all the stuff you try to do to avoid that, the please and thank you and you're welcome that we try to do, it is still, it affects all of us every day.
And don't get me wrong, I like Ghost Adventures. I like watching
It's entertaining.
It's entertaining. There's a lot of fun things.
Well, it's meant for entertainment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's shock and awe. That's how it works. But at the same time, we take it seriously.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be you got to have your ground at all times when it comes to this, because the last thing you want is an attachment. The last thing you want is an attack.
Again, like I said, that's why we use protection spells. We use sage. We use crystals. we put salt in our shoes to keep us grounded. We do all of that.
Mm-hmm.
All the little things you think that you ought to do.
But like, again, it could still happen because we've had so many attachments or attacks. Like, I know Sabrina and Casey, they're one of our first people to get attacked at Antelope Island.
The three of you are conduits, plain and simple. You guys get the activity.
And it's funny that we're a family too.
The irony of it all.
It is.
Okay, another question in the chat room.
Awesome.
Okay.
Love questions.
Can a psychic look at a picture of a house and or the land and remotely sense if there are spirits there?
That is a question that we really couldn't answer.
You don't know that answer from working with Stephanie?
I cannot answer that one because...
And I don't want to try to answer it without,
It's definitely one that if you ever get the opportunity to bring Stephanie onto the show, or if you ever had the chance to talk to a psychic medium that does a really good job, they're going to give you the answer, but it's never one I've really thought of asking her.
That is a good question again. But yeah, I don't want to say yes or no, especially when that's really not in my field.
Yeah, it's one of those things that when it comes to psychic mediums, there's got to be something that you show me that makes me believe that you do an excellent job.
But Stephanie showed us.
Stephanie has done an amazing job that I trust her abilities really well. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things, I wish that she was here to answer that question. Yeah. I really couldn't answer that one, so I apologize.
No, that's okay. I know, I personally know that is a thing, that you can read energy from photos, from objects, from, I should say photos and objects. You can have your grandfather's watch and have a reading done with it. And there is a name. It is called something.
Yeah, I know which name you're talking about. I just can't remember it either. It's
yeah, it's that one.
Yeah, it's that one.
I know what it is, and I'm looking it up because Julie, who shares space with me at Vibes, she actually teaches a class on this ability. So she'll have you bring in a picture or an item.
It's like the words in my head right now. I just can't.
And she'll teach you how to read the energy from the item. And when I find the class name, I'm looking in the back end of Vibes, I will let you know, because right now the name has slipped my mind because she hasn't taught it for a moment. But it really is neat because you have to think about it. Every item holds energy because everything's made from energy. And if you're a psychic medium, what you're doing is reading energy, part of it. Mm-hmm. Reading someone's energy or something's energy.
And you know what? I can vouch for that, just being a researcher. And I'll give a great example of this because I used to work in a thrift store. I used to be an assistant manager in a thrift store, worked with the company for about 6 years due to legal reasons. I won't mention the name, but it was right here.
I can. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to.
He's like, don't do it.
Good try. But no, actually, it was right here in Ogden. I used to work at this location, And I've heard stories about this place having activity. So I decided to do an experiment. So me and my closing team went into the basement of this place. This is approximately around 10 o'clock or so. And we decided to do an EVP session with my cell phone. Asked a few questions. And next thing you know, one of them asked a question, and all of a sudden, right above us, you could start hearing footsteps. Right above us is where the office is at, right where the break room, meeting room are at. And I didn't say a word. I heard it, looked at my team, pointed up. All they did was shake their head yes. To this day. And actually, that EVP is on YouTube under our WASP page.
Oh, nice.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You're going to have to look at that one.
Yeah, listen to it very carefully. I highly recommend noise-canceling headphones because it is hard to hear, but when you hear it, it was just magnificent. And not to mention, another store I worked in, which was in Layton, I left a digital recorder overnight. First 15 minutes, a lot of stuff was going on. And I couldn't even go through the entire EVP session. That's how much there was. It was like over 8 hours of stuff going on in there.
That's the thing with going back through your research is there's a lot of tape to watch, to listen to.
Oh, yeah.
To pick up on that little tiny thing.
But with thrift stores,
antique stores,
estate sales, there's going to be items that are attached to those things. As a matter of fact, one of the questions we will ask one of our clients, have you recently purchased anything from a thrift store, estate sale? And sometimes that can bring the energy in.
Yeah, definitely.
Without even knowing.
Definitely. It's called psychometry. I can't even say it. Psychometry.
Psychometry. Okay.
It just came to me. I'm like, what is it called? I can't find the class, but I knew it was along the psychic lines, but I was trying to remember the wording.
Well, there's actually a word for kind of like, oh God, what is it called? That they could do that, but I can't remember the word of it.
We'll have to ask Stephanie. I think that's a good question to ask her.
Yeah, psychometry. So she teaches that class on how to read. So she'll have you actually bring a photograph in or an object in. It's really neat, though, if you think about all of the history of every place that we walk on. We're constantly surrounded by past spirit.
Exactly.
No matter where we go, regardless if we are paranormal investigators or empaths or...
They're always around us.
Everywhere. Everywhere. And the veil is so thin, like we could literally just reach out and hold someone's hand.
Without even knowing it.
Yeah. That's what is so amazing to me is that. Just knowing like we are never, ever, ever alone.
I can't remember the last time I felt alone.
I can't even tell you the time I've been alone.
Because even when I am alone, I always have that feeling that there's someone there. So yeah, I know what you're talking about. We're never alone.
Agree. It's interesting how the paranormal is, because if you really think about it, there's so many different types of energy. I mean, a lot of times you're dealing with a lot of residual stuff that happens.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I just saw a mouse run from the bathroom down the hall.
Oh, that's good to know.
Sorry, if you would have saw looking at my reaction, that's what I was seeing. As I was looking straight in the bathroom, and I see a mouse just run out of there, and it's a pretty huge one.
I'm glad it wasn't a deer. That's all I'm going to say.
No, it's just I hate mouse.
Anyways,
mices.
It's cold. It's getting cold.
Yep, it's one of those things.
I told you we're never alone.
And that pops out, yeah.
But yeah, you got the residual energy.
Yes.
You got the intelligent energy. There's so many different things that you run into. Sometimes you don't even realize it. And I think one of the biggest problems with that is our cell phones.
Yep.
We're always
attached to something electronic, our phone, social media. It's a little bit too much, a little bit too overwhelming. But that could just be my old age speaking, but I'm not a big fan of social media.
I have got my thoughts, but we'll keep them to myself.
No, come on. I'd like to know.
Well, no. That's not
another time, another place.
Thank
is
you.
What he's saying.
Oh, okay.
With all of the things that are going on, so you obviously believe in spirits. Do you guys believe in anything else? Like, do you believe in other life forms on other planets? Do you believe in the fae folk? Do you believe in Bigfoot? Do you believe in
This
any?
is actually our show that we had just earlier today. We talked about this.
Oh, did you
Yep.
really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we did go into this discussion. When it comes to extraterrestrials, aliens, I believe they are out there. I find it hard to believe that we're the only life forms.
Oh, yeah. And I believe the same thing. I believe that there is, you got to be closed-minded to think how big this universe is and knowing that we're the only intelligent species around.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think they have come around us yet. I mean, with as big as this universe, heck, as big as this galaxy is, why would they come to us when there could be other places to go to?
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. I could be totally wrong, and they could just be all around us.
And it's interesting, too, because we were talking about Bigfoot earlier.
Yep.
And do I believe in the theory of Bigfoot? Absolutely. I believe that's a possibility just because you don't know what's on this earth. There's still so much we have not explored. It could be out there. However, because of lack of evidence and lack of DNA, hair sample, skin sample,
Or just genuine evidence in general.
just in general evidence, because we don't have enough documented evidence to prove that he's out there. I don't believe Bigfoot's real. I believe in the theory, though.
Yep.
Because it's a possibility. So,
Yeah, anything is possible.
Yep.
exactly. As long as you keep that mindset,
And that's the one thing we didn't talk about was fairy folk.
The Fae folk. I love talking about the Fae. In fact, I wish Rick was here
you would love to talk about
because
that.
if he
totally
is
believes,
Druid,
yep.
he probably believes
And
it.
we talked about that as well on our one episode about religion and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And about Wiccans, Druids, stuff like that, and why we have them on our team.
Yeah, it's one of those things that the Fae, I actually do in some way believe in them.
I do too.
It just because I don't have the words to describe it. I just do
Well,
believe in them.
to me, it's just there are so many dimensions out there.
Mhm.
It could possibly mean that these entities are from a different dimension.
Dimensions, portals.
So you believe in all of that?
Oh yeah,
Isn't
I-
it neat?
I
can
think of it
book-
as a form of a different type of spirit, but just like a different dimension spirit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I'm a pretty open-minded person. I don't judge anybody for their beliefs. And
You judge
thoughts.
me.
There's reasons for that, but anyway. No, I'm a very open-minded person. People are going to tell me about their things, and I respect their opinions and their thoughts. I'm not going to downgrade them just because they believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I expect the same. You respect mine as well. I mean, everybody has their beliefs and their thoughts, and that's perfectly fine.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty good with that. So with Fae folk, I think it would be interesting to run into something like that.
It would be. I always feel like I see them, but then you know how you just, there's no.
That's our adult side trying to talk
But-
to us.
Right, but the way that they flitter and flutter around, it's hard to explain. I don't feel like it could be anything else. I trust that's what it is, and
Well, that's the funny thing is I was actually watching a documentary on this last night before everything that happened with Sabrina, but they were even saying that some people believe them as the fairies like you see in like fantasy and stuff like that, but this one documentary was talking about how possibly they could be evil. Back in the day they used to take over like
they're
kidnap
both.
kids,
Mhm.
or they would kidnap kids and then replace them with their own, like pretty much shapeshifters, stuff like that. Yeah.
I've had some really great guests on the show, and Cam and Kyle from Expanded Perspectives, they're another show that used to be here on KGRA. They have their own thing going. They talk about this often, and it's fascinating
Oh,
the
yeah.
stories that they have. If you ever have a chance to listen to them, so good. They've been on my show a couple of times. Their stories are, they're just fun. They're great storytellers. But then they also have people who have had these experiences that they share the stories, including of themselves. So that one's neat. If you want to learn more about it, I'm sending you that way.
It sounds like a plan to me. I'd like to know more. So yeah,
Something
for sure.
you can listen to on your route.
There you go.
So you guys have a busy week planned for this Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So tell me about that. What do you guys have going on tomorrow night?
Well, tomorrow night, we're going to be in Taylorsville. We're going to hopefully wrap up this case that we've been working on since July. The goal is to get the home cleansed 100%, and then in another location, cleanse the family. Kind of get them both taken care of at the same time, so that way we can get rid of whatever evil entity is in the home.
And yes, we don't like to use or throw around the word demonic or evil with any field studies because we feel that it's been overused. But no, this Taylorsville house, I believe there is something evil there.
Mm-hmm. There's so many things going on, and there's still a lot of questions because I feel there's certain things we're not being told 100%. But based off of recent events, we can definitely tell something's there that doesn't want the family to be there.
And it's almost as over our abilities, too.
Mm-hmm. Whether it's a portal that's opened, we've been told that the neighbor downstairs is practicing witchcraft and hexing the family. Whatever it is, it needs to go away.
Yep.
Plain and simple. And then Saturday night, I'm looking forward to this for you guys. I know I won't be there, but I know Justin and our lead researcher, Andrew, as well as Rick, are going to be at the Great Room Escape doing a midnight field study.
And where this place is located
on Halloween night on a full moon.
Yep.
Wow.
I'm excited.
That one, I hope you guys get a ton of activity to kind of help out the owner.
I'm going to bring everything that we have to see what we could pick up on.
Oh, that's going to be such a great case because, for one, the owner is friends with some of the people here at KGRA, Warren and Jenny, to be exact, and they've been wanting us to come in and study this place for a while to see what they can get. Mm-hmm. They've had other paranormal groups, and they've had some experiences, and I've talked a little bit to one of them, and he's told me a few things that have happened. But just walking around there last Friday and them talking about some of the experiences, one thing I like about it, with Rick being there, there are certain things that I know he's going to debunk, like the door opening on its own. I think is one of the biggest key terms that I really want to check on. But otherwise, I'm just curious what we're able to capture evidence.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait.
I can't either. It's going to be huge.
I want to hear about that one.
Oh, we'll definitely have a show about it. On a totally different note, I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but every time you say, Warren and Jenny, I always think of Forrest Gump, and I always say it like that. Jenny. I'm sorry. I apologize to everyone. I had to say it.
Justin.
What?
I'm just going to leave it alone at that for now.
It's done. It's been done.
Yep, it's already on air. It's already thrown out there.
Jenny.
And it got thrown out there again.
No, busy week for us.
You can't take me anywhere.
No. Is it always like that for you guys? Do people seem to come towards you in your investigations more so in October? Is that a busy month for you, or are you busy all year round?
Busy all year round.
I would say busy all year round. I'm not going to lie. 2020 has been a phenomenal year for us.
Oh, it has been.
We've been opening cases. We've had our ghost tours, which I'm excited to announce. All the ghost tours that we've done, COVID-free. Not one positive test of COVID. That's a good sign. We've had over 100 people show up for the first one. Had anywhere from like 20 to 40 for the rest of them each, and not one positive test for COVID.
Wow. Which
is amazing. But just some of the experiences out there, people are getting to know our name more, that we are getting asked to help. And this October it's been probably our busiest time.
But what was the month that we had that one experience with the ghost fire?
That was September 26th.
That was September? Okay.
September 26th at the ghost tour that we just recently had.
Okay, let's talk about the ghost fire.
So we hold ghost tours on Antelope Island every year. This was the first time we actually did more than two. And September 26th, we decided to hold our next ghost tour. We had, I would say, 50 people max that showed up to this event?
Well, that was the first one, because remember, we have two shows. We have the one from 8 to 10, and then we have another one from 11 to
8 to 11, or 10 to 1.
Yeah.
So we've had even a friend of ours from Beyond the Grave Paranormal, Sam, and his tag team partner with Beyond the Grave. They were there. We had some patrons that came out and experienced it, and everything seemed to be moving fine until they started
11 o'clock.
Around 11 o'clock actually around 10 o'clock.
Yep.
They started going into the wooded area, and a couple of attacks happened with the same marking, which was very weird on their back, like a V-shaped mark and a slash mark. But then we started smelling smoke.
And we started, because where we set up everything to have our presentation, we have it in the barn. Well, we started seeing smoke, actual smoke in the top of the barn, and could smell it too.
Mm-hmm. So we had to kind of make sure everybody didn't go into the barn. We had to move our equipment, which unfortunately was the ending of my TV that I had there for evidence purposes.
But you sat on it?
Yes. Not happy about that still, but hey, accidents happen. We move on. But the fire department was actually called out to take a look at this. And they got there, they checked everything out. The only thing they were upset about was we were burning sage to kind of cleanse people because some people were experiencing some things. And we didn't know this until then, that there was a fire restriction on Antelope Island. That's why they were getting upset. So the next one, we didn't do any sage burning. But otherwise, they couldn't find any evidence of a fire in the barn.
But we had Carl there, he's the actual ranch manager there. We looked everywhere for the fire and where the smoke and the smell was coming from. We couldn't find it anywhere. But as soon as the fire department showed up, it disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
It just left.
So it just disappeared
Yep.
completely.
Mm-hmm.
How the heck does that even happen?
It's an example that the spirits are not happy we are there, and they wanted us to leave. So they were going to find some way to make it happen.
Yep. And the only way to get rid of a big group like that is to stage a fire.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they did it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But
They
it
certainly
didn't.
did it.
But people didn't leave.
Yeah, people are actually more intrigued, and we actually had a lot of positive feedbacks from that last ghost tour.
Yeah,
It was
I would imagine so.
It was crazy, unbelievable. Those ghost tours, I'm not going to lie, we had some of the most insane moments with those ghost tours. Because the one thing we also learned about working in the paranormal is it depends on the size of the location. If you have a small house and a lot of people, you're not going to pick up very much. But a place like Fielding Gar Ranch on Antelope Island, we had upwards to almost 300 people with one of our ghost tours last year. And they were still having stuff happen to them.
Wow.
It's the craziest thing. I'm still
Yeah.
stunned by that, because you figure the more people you have in the space, the less activity happens. But it depends on your square footage.
Mhm.
We've come to learn.
Well, that and also the space, wouldn't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Just like where you're at and how heavily occupied it is with spirit.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I have a feeling if we went to, like, say we did one at Benson Mill Grits or whatever that place.
Benson Grill. Or Benson Grits.
Okay. If we had that many people there at that place, I don't think we'd pick up as much as we did at Antelope Island.
I don't think so either, but it also depends on the timing. Because I know when we were out there, you didn't pick up very much because you were also focused on Sabrina.
Yeah, because she wasn't feeling good.
Very well. But I know, like, my team and Thomas's team, we picked up quite a bit. We were impressed with all the activity.
And that's another thing that I kind of want to mention is if you're not in the best state of mind or the right state of mind, you're not going to pick up on anything on.
Well, just don't go, is my opinion.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can have so many more negative experiences if you're in a negative state, because negative attracts negative. If there's any place in the world that you guys could go and investigate, where would that be?
Oh, man.
Well,
That just came to mind because there are so many amazing places to go.
I'm surprised that didn't get asked in chat. But the one place right now, there's two places. One right here in Utah and one outside the United States. I would have to say I would love to check out Poveglia Island in Italy.
I want to check out Dracula's Castle.
That's another good one, too.
Mm.
But the place in Utah I want to check out is Skinwalker Ranch.
Of course.
Yep.
Of course.
I want to go more to see if we could debunk anything that's going on,
Yeah.
but to see what evidence we can capture. I've actually contacted Brandon Fugel, the owner of the ranch.
new owner.
Mm-hmm. And as of right now, it's a no for now.
Oh, I'm sure he bought it for a reason. I'm sure at some point he will open it up to a certain
ghost tours
few
or
to-
yeah.
Yeah, he's a businessman.
Oh yeah.
He knew what he was doing when he purchased the property.
Of course, because he's heard some of the stories of when Bigelow used to own it. Not everything, because a lot of the stuff is under lock and key. He can't find it because of the government. But it's just that awe and the attraction of it from all the stories, from the cattle mutilations to the sightings of UFOs and Bigfoot.
There's so many. It's such a diverse.
Oh yeah, it has everything there.
Yeah, there's so much activity there of all different kinds.
Mm-hmm. It's one that I always have been intrigued to check out, just because if we can pick up something no one else has ever gotten, you'd be amazed with how many people would respond to it, both unfortunately negative and positive.
Yep.
Because people are not going to believe it, because not everything you see on TV you believe. But some people are going to be like, I cannot believe you caught that. That's amazing.
But another place I want to go to, this is out of the United States that a lot of people don't know of, because I think like England's kind of like really haunted. No, Japan is one of the most haunted countries out there.
That's one of my dreams right there.
I would love to go there and investigate.
There's that forest out there in Japan.
Yeah, the suicide forest. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That would be an intriguing one to go check
Why
out.
are they drawn out there? What causes these people to go out to this one forest when there's tons of forests out there in Japan? What's so special about this one?
It's definitely one I'd like to check out too.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, I just love to go to Japan. I just love their history.
Yeah.
They're one of the most history-rich countries in the world, that they still go by their old ways.
And another one that pops in my head, this is in the United States, is Waverly Hills Sanatorium out in Kentucky.
That'd be kind of interesting.
Tell me a little bit about that one.
What I can tell you,
that's one I haven't heard of.
It is actually a well-known paranormal hotspot out in the east. It's more southeastern. I think it's Tennessee is where it's at. It fed a ton of patients. There was a murder by patients to a patient. I know that much. And
nurses to patients, murders. I mean, there's been so much
stuff.
And residual hauntings of the spirits of the workers there coming up out of nowhere. I know Chris from Life After Life was on our show, and she talked a little bit about that. I cannot remember the story, though, she talked about. So I know it was something about a heavy door that was hard to open and close, shutting on its own.
Probably slamming right in front of her.
Mm-hmm. And then, like I mentioned about the spirit of the workers being there, there was actually somebody saw one of the workers come in, look at everybody, and leave. And this place is just a deserted sanatorium. It is one of the craziest places.
I love going to haunted places. Even old buildings, just to feel the energy.
Every place you go to could be haunted.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if it's a new. Doesn't matter if it's a new, old, or whatever. It could be haunted.
How can people get in touch with you guys, or find out what you're doing, or listen to your show?
There's a few ways to get a hold of us. So you've got our website, which is www.waspparanormal.com, and that's 2 P's in the middle. You can actually reach us through there. Because we got our own little area. You can fill out your name and information and send it to us.
Or just a question.
Or even just a question via email.
Yeah.
Our email is admin@waspparanormal.com. We do have our Facebook page. You just type in WASP 801 and it should bring up Western Association for the Science of the Paranormal. Those are our biggest ways to get a hold of us. My email is charman@waspparanormal.com. You're more than welcome to email me as well. Those are the biggest ways to get a hold of us. And, of course, WASP Radio every Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, right here on kgraradio.com.
You sound like you've done that before.
A few times.
And just let everybody know, we do not charge at all to come out to investigate or whatever. It's all free. Yes, we don't charge a dime.
It's not a goal to make money off of this, although it would be nice to do this for a living, to take care of my family and stuff. Our goal is to get answers.
It's to help people out, too.
Not to make people pay to do it, because honestly, if you were to have people actually get charged to do this, it's probably going to cost a lot of money.
But plus, we love doing this. We love doing this. We wouldn't be able to do this if we started charging people, because no one would be like, I don't want to pay that much.
Agreed.
Right. Yeah. So you're doing it for the love of.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and to get answers.
Best, right?
Yep.
That's so good. It's been so much fun getting to know you guys better.
It's been a lot of fun coming on here. We appreciate you allowing us
thank you.
at the time.
Yeah, thanks for being here. It's so good. You guys make sure you do check out their show. Again, it's here hosted on kgraradio.com, WASP Radio, WASP Paranormal Radio.
And we discuss different topics. We talk about our previous research places. We talk about everything.
Bring on guests.
Yep.
It's been a lot of fun bringing on some of the people that we've brought on. I mean, it's been fantastic.
One of our favorites, they say, is Amitaf and Andrew, and
That's neat. It's neat that you can bring on your team too.
Mm-hmm. That's when we start bringing people that have been a part of the field studies before, it's one of the best ways to do it.
Well, you guys are doing a great job.
Well,
the
thank you.
word is getting out, and that's really exciting, and that's fun.
But also, one other thing before the show ends, that I want everybody to understand too, is our goal is to also work with other paranormal groups.
Yes.
Our focus is to work together as a team, because if we can all work together, we'll get more answers.
Right. That's what I love. Thank you for saying that. It's not a competition.
Yeah.
This is not a competition.
We welcome working with any group
Mm-hmm.
that needs help or just wants us to help on, or just come with us to one of our investigations. We don't mind.
Well, I've shared this with you before last year, and in fact, Chris was here talking about being on the station that day. We had Ogden Paranormal here on the show, which great group of fellas, great guys. I'm sure I'll have them back again. I know I will if they want to still. I shouldn't be so confident. But reach out to them. They would be a good group of people to get in touch with. There's just so many people who are doing the same work. And if you could all get together and do the same thing.
Because our goal is the same.
Imagine the work that could be done. It would be really neat.
Because everybody has different techniques. Not everybody's the same. And it kind of helps get answers.
Yeah, it definitely does. Well, thanks again, fellas.
Yep.
Thank you.
It's been
thank you.
awesome. If you guys enjoyed the show, make sure you go over to soulwanderings.com and click on the social media links there where you can be in the know. You can learn about what shows are coming up for that week. You can ask questions. You can get information from past guests, whatever you desire. I am really active in replying to you. And make sure you're listening not just to my show, but all the other amazing shows, including WASP Radio, here on KGRAradio.com. Thanks for being here with us tonight, everyone. Good night.